What's up, guys? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, bringing you a new unboxing today. This is the Nike Hypervenom Phantom in the Neymar specific colorway, okay? So right off the bat, I just want to say a quick thanks and give a little shout out to my friend Jacob, okay? These are his shoes. He texted me a week ago and he's like, Mike, you know, I got a new pair of shoes. If you'd like to do a little review on them, go for it. So I was able to meet up with them. He just lent me the shoes for a few days, and I am going to bring you guys a unboxing video and review video of these shoes right here. So we're gonna get into the unboxing right away. Inside the box, you get the two shoes, as you can see right here. So we'll get them out of the box. And then, of course, you get a string bag. So we're gonna show you that quickly, and then we'll get the rest out of the way. Nike string bag. Now, this is common with all top of the line Nike shoes. It's not, I mean, everyone's heard of this before. This is a black string bag with Neymar's sort of pattern, the similar flower pattern you see here, and it's just sort of lightly printed out over the black. You've got an orange or crimson colored Nike swoosh here with a thin black outline actually. You've got Neymar's branding right here in, it's not quite the same orange actually as on this side. It's orange, but it's not nearly as bright. This is like a real bright crimson, and this side is a lot duller and darker and just not as vibrant. You get your pocket on the inside, and the strings are black. So that's the string bag, and then we'll get into the main attraction right here. So these are the Neymar specific Nike Hypervenom Phantom shoes. Okay, so I've reviewed the Hypervenom before. I've done the Elite pack. I've done the recent Floodlights pack. And if you guys want to see any more sort of detailed reviews, if you want to see what these things look like on feet, you can check out my other Nike Hypervenom Phantom videos. I'll link a couple of them, or a couple videos in general, in the description or in the little card you can find in the right hand corner. The Neymar colorway is this one right here. So obviously we've got a white base. Actually, you know what? I would say it's a black base with a white pattern. If you look very, very carefully, the pattern is printed in white and black acts as the base. So you've got a black upper. The flower pattern is printed throughout the entire upper over here. You've got your bright orange, crimson colored Nike swoosh here. You've got a large Nike swoosh there. You've got Neymar's logo on the heel right here, and it's really nicely finished actually. It's almost like imprinted into the upper itself. That is in that crimson color. You've got an orange sole plate, I suppose, with this sort of see-through black overlay. The tips of the studs are that crimson color. And the inside of the dynamic fit collar and the little sort of ring around the top is that orange color as well. If you can see, if I pull the dynamic fit collar, the inside is that crimson color, so it adds a nice little two-tone effect to it. That's the sock liner. It's just a single piece of foam. It's actually quite nice compared to some of them now that I feel it. It's almost got like this rougher material on the bottom so that it grips the shoe and doesn't slip anywhere. It's got Neymar's little design here with a Nike swoosh and Allegria here. I'm not sure exactly what that stands for, and I don't want to say something on video that, you know, I'm completely wrong and then I get ripped for it. But if you guys want to go for it, go for it. See what Allegria means. Let me know down in the comment section, and we'll get a little discussion going. We've got Flyknit making up the dynamic fit collar up here. That's nothing new. It trickles down into the sort of area where the tongue would be as well. That's all Flyknit. But the upper itself, okay, is made out of Nike skin. So it's covered with Nike skin, but it's very, very thick, I suppose. It's very built up. It's extremely tough. This is the old upper, by the way. Don't forget, the Nike Hypervenom Phantom, if you look at the Floodlights pack and if you look at the Elite pack, that's Nike skin, the first generation upper. This is the second generation upper, which was much, much thicker, much more rough, and not nearly as soft, and it took a lot longer to break in, so don't forget that. Check out the Floodlights video, check out the Elite Pack Hypervenoms. Those have the new upper on them that we saw in the previous Hypervenom Phantom. This came out with the original Hypervenom Phantom 2 upper, so it's much rougher and it's really geared toward responsiveness. It's supposed to be as responsive as possible, and they're really trying to almost lock your foot in place without it being able to move at all. So the touch on the ball is a little different than the second generation. Now, it's not to say that this is bad. Some people actually might prefer this in comparison to the first generation upper. I myself thought the first generation upper was extremely soft and it was comfortable, but there was almost too much rollover in it, so that when I pushed off or when I changed directions quickly, it almost felt like my foot was sliding off the sole plate. They went the complete opposite direction with this one, and now your foot's not going to move anywhere, and it's created one of the most, if not the most responsive shoe on the market today. So that's the uppers. Thick. I don't want to go over the top, but it is thick, and it doesn't soften up very much. It will to a certain extent, but it's there for responsiveness. Keep that in mind. It's there to provide that lockdown. It's there for your foot not to move. So it's a very different feel from the original Hypervenom Phantom and the newer colorways that we've seen since sort of the Euro Cup. You've got flywire strings that are running from the base of the sole plate into the lacing system and down. That helps with that responsiveness. You can kind of see it on the outside. So you've got this going up and down, zigzagging up and down, all the way through. Maybe you can see it on this camera. There's those little lines there. That is the flywire that's really providing that super soft, very responsive feel. The sole plate's made out of a Pebax material that's similar. It's actually the exact same as the first generation. You've got your 4 conical studs in the heel, stiffener bars that run out through the midfoot, and you've got a large space between the rear studs and the front studs. This area is quite large. I myself would prefer a little bit more even distribution of the studs. Instead of having a bunch of studs in the front and just a couple in the back that are really close together, I'd like to see them disperse a little bit more, similar to an Adidas sole plate. That's just my preference, but that's not to say this was extremely grippy. It gave you the traction you needed, and a lot of people really do like it actually. So you've got your 3 conical studs here, 3 conical studs here, a toe pick stud in the front, your pivot stud in the middle, and then you've got this split toe design that was introduced to us on the original Hypervenom Phantom. So it's supposed to give a little bit more, so that depending on what sort of part of your foot you're pushing off of, or what part of your foot has more weight, you can, you know, if I'm pushing off my big toe, for example, this side will dig into the ground a little bit more and I can accelerate. If I'm pushing off the outside of my foot, or I'm leaning this way, this side might soften up a little bit so that the outside of my foot can slip down into the ground and give me a little bit more push off. That's the idea. Does it work? I'll leave that up to you. Let me know what you think, if it works or if it doesn't. It's covered with ACC, all conditions control, so that's your wet control element. If you use this shoe in the wet or wet conditions, it will definitely have that new technology to sort of give you that extra grip on the ball. That's it, guys. That's my review of the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2 with the original upper in the Neymar Jr. specific colorway. So if you have any questions, again, leave them down in the comment section. I'll definitely get an answer out to you. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. And of course, if you like what you see, please subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of videos coming out. I've got different material coming out as of late. I've got shoes, I've got sports unboxings, I've got tech reviews, I've got pretty much a bunch of different things that interest me. If they interest you, subscribe. I hope that you enjoy the content. So again, Mike McIntyre here with All Things Sports. Thank you guys very much for watching. Take care until the next video, and we'll see you then.